Hello, I'm Dave O'Connell with a word about what you can expect to find in this week's Connacht Tribune. Bad news for some of those most in need around the county this week, with confirmation that around 40 community welfare officers are to be centralised. These are the people who play a vital role in supporting the most vulnerable individuals, children and families, organising supplementary welfare payments, medical cards and emergency payments for those in crisis and unable to access other forms of payment. But now that the individual offices around the county are being closed to centralise staff to bigger towns, those who can least afford it are faced with 70-mile round trips for these life-saving emergency payments, more often than not dependent on public transport to get them there and back. Teagasc produced a fascinating report in the past week analysing the best and worst towns and villages in Ireland in terms of employment prospects and living appeal, and we have a full breakdown of the 18 Galway areas included, which show Barna as one of the most desirable places in the country and Gort, I'm afraid, firmly at the other end. Two tragedies in the past week: a house fire that claimed the life of Pat O'Connor in Headford, and a freak horse riding accident that killed Athenry restaurant owner Cathal O'Malley at a show outside Tullamore at the weekend, and we have coverage on both of those. We have a piece with the new Miss Galway and a story on the Philadelphia Rose, whose roots are firmly planted on the Galway-Mayo border. We also have the official opening of Pieta House in Tuam and the Console fundraising walk at the weekend. We have an interesting feature on a very different music school where around 200 young students from music schools and orchestras around the county both perform and compose classical and traditional pieces under the watchful eye of Galway's composer-in-residence James Ross. And in sport, Galway hurlers are facing an injury crisis ahead of their National League semi-final against Kilkenny, with cornerback Fergal Moore definitely out and both Irla Tanyan and Niall Healy on the doubtful list, all of which manager Anthony Cunningham puts down to a hectic spring programme that has now taken its toll. So all of that and loads more in this week's Connacht Tribune in the shops since early this Thursday morning, and every Thursday morning you can also find us online at connachttribune.ie, or indeed our new app, which is available at the iTunes App Store or through Google Play.